my project for my Google Apps class. What I'm showing you here is how I would use Google in the classroom. So there are 4 main apps that I picked up in this course that I would use. One is Google Sites, Google Docs, Google Forms, and Google Sheets. So let me go through those briefly. So the first thing I would use is, of course, Google Sites, which is the mechanism that I am using to deliver this information. So what is Google Sites? Again, it's an application that makes you or allows you to create a web page. I can insert pictures, I can insert videos, hyperlinks, all those good things into my website. I have an example here of my actual website that I started to design for this course, and this is my main page. It has my main information here, column and study biology, and then I have different menus, which I have over here AP Bio, which then contains a few chapter links. So I have chapter 9 and 10 for cell division, and I have chapter 8 for cell rest, so they can go on, click on those, and then go to the information that's put inside there. So I have actually a video, YouTube video of myself doing the mitosis, meiosis labs using the beams. So that's just an example of my Google site. Another application that I would use is Google Docs. So this is an application that's very similar to Word document. You can create a document, you can share it with others, you can comment on student work. You can also have editing and also where multiple students can work at the same time so they can work together. In this example, I have a genetics lab that we're working on, chi-square probability, and I allow students to go in and put their data in there. So here's the lab, and then there's some data that we've collected, flipping coins, they can work on their chi-square, and right here is where we would start to put in the group information, their tallies for heads and tails, and then everybody has access to that because they have to also do some calculations using the classroom data. The next application that I would also use in my classroom is Google Forms. Now, Google Forms allows you to take in information, to ask questions, take in information, and then you get back responses, and you can do multiple things with them, display them in a spreadsheet. So I have here a survey that I took on photosynthesis. So you can see here they put their responses in, and then here is their answer. So I could go in and look at if they understood like dark reaction or light reaction. I thought it was really kind of interesting because I asked a question about, do Homo sapiens require photosynthesis? And I was surprised at how many students actually know that we did not need photosynthesis. So there was definitely some things I needed to readdress in class. So that was kind of useful. And then the last thing I'm going to discuss is Google Sheets. In Google Sheets, which I just showed you that with the last slide, because it took that information and it organized it in a nice way for me to look at that data. But Google Sheet, again, it's basically an Excel program, which again you can actually collaborate with others, so multiple people can be adding things into the cells. I thought it was what I really liked about it. I used it again for this last experiment with chi-square. I decided to have them put their information in this format instead of just on the lab. But I want them to turn that lab in, and I can make comments on it through their Google Share Drive. But here, we can have multiple groups putting their data in, and they can do it on their phones, and they can do it at home this weekend if they didn't have time to put that up on my laptop. So this allows us to grab more data more efficiently, and we're not using class time then to try to get that information out, because normally I would have a transparency, every group would have to come out and write it down, and then everybody would be copying it, or best case scenario, I then take it to the copy machine and make copies and hand it out. But now they actually have access to it in their Google Drives, and I also hyperlinked it to my website. So to reiterate, used my Google Sites as my mechanism to display the information I learned in this class. I talked about Google Docs, Google Forms, and Google Sheets. So I did get a lot of good things out of this class. I did learn some things that I probably or will not currently use, but who knows what I will use in the future. So overall, I did get a lot of information out of this class. Thank you.